Yeah,
Stella,
yeah,
don't
yeah.
call me Stelly Dinwiddie.
Good morning, everybody. Great to see everybody on this morning. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. We have got a great call lined up for you today. Excited to see you all on. Got a lot of fun things to share today. Let's hit some leaderboards. If I can get, so I'm operating from a hotel here and kind of, and John Paul and Stella be on standby. I have got the upgraded internet, which is slightly better than dial-up from 30 years ago. So if I crash, be ready to jump in and take over. So let's take a look at leaderboards. Give me just a moment here. And again, normally I have all this stuff printed out, ready to go. Okay, let's do the week. Top 10 for the week, entire hierarchy. This is the first day of July. Actually, our week of July submit started last Saturday. So this is all the business that has been written so far for the week. We have until midnight Eastern today for business to get turned in to count for the week for submit. Let's everything that you wrote up until yesterday counted back for June, though, for as you paid. That's probably confusing to those of you who are new. It's confusing us who've been around here for a while. So get with your mentor. We'll try to straighten it out with you. Top 10, Chad Simper, one application, $1,775, directed John Paul Vetter.
And you're going to share your screen?
What's that?
Share your screen?
No, I'm not going to share your screen. Angel Gooding, one application, $1,824, directed John Paul Vetter. Alicia Metzen, three applications, $2,039, directed John Paul Vetter. Mr. Spencer Cushion, one application, $2,140, direct to myself. Donna Bates, two applications, $2,547, direct to Spencer Cushion. Sydney Lee, one application, $3,127, direct to Stella Dinwiddie. Salvatore Manzo, three applications, $3,237, direct to Joanna Doibin. Andrea Craig, one application, $3,648, direct to Eric Sullivan. Number two, Stella Dinwiddie, two applications, $3,868, direct to myself. Number one for the week for the hierarchy, Miss Jenny Gray, seven applications, $8,559, direct to John Paul Vetter. Congratulations, great week, great start. Let's hit some monthly leaderboards, guys. First, let me start out on the monthly leaderboards. Let's give a shout out to our new riders for the month of June. We had 8 new riders. That is fantastic. Awesome to see the new riders. We had let's go in reverse order. Manfred Aegean, and if I'm getting names wrong, guys, apologize here. So leaders can get with me afterwards and we'll straighten it out. Manfred had direct to Stella Dinwiddie. Daniel Smuin, direct to Joanna Doibin. Brad Lombardi, direct to myself. Crystal Erickson and Adrian Briones, direct to Kim Einerwald. Taylor Seeley, direct to Stacy Love. Cindy Washington, direct to Stephanie Stubbs. And Alicia Metzen, direct to John Paul Vetter. Welcome, new riders. Excited to see you. We always say if you can write one, you can write two. If you can write two, you get yourself a business started. So great job. Let's hit top 10 for the hierarchy for the month of June. We had number 10, Stella Dinwiddie, 16 applications, $7,987. That's also including a trip to Hawaii that Stella qualified for with American Amicable. So getting a little vacay in and still getting some business leading from the front. Great job. Alicia Metzen, again, a new rider, and in her first month went out 10 applications, $8,323, direct to John Paul. That's a great start. Great job, Alicia. Sydney Lee had 7 applications, $9,103, direct to Stella Dinwiddie. Stacy Love, 8 applications, $9,726, direct to myself. And Donna Bates, we had Donna Bates at 9 applications, $10,722, direct to Spencer Cushion. Ayanna Phillips, 10 applications, $11,493 direct to Terry Myers. Number 4, Jenny Gray, 13 applications, $13,903 direct to John Paul. Eric Sullivan, 6 applications, $14,099 direct to John Paul. Salvatore Manzo, 9 applications, $14,628 direct to Joanna Doyman. Number 1 producer for the hierarchy for the month of June, Mr. Spencer Kushian, 18 applications, $21,818 direct to myself. Great job. I want to give a shout out too as I look at the application count. So Spencer was number 1 on APV, but Mr. James McKeon was number 1 on app count with 20 applications. That is phenomenal. Solid app count. Great job, James. As far as the hierarchies go, actually, I'm going to do, we've got a leaderboard report that goes by the upline. So instead of doing a base shop, which is just myself, John Paul, and Stella, let's expand it out a little bit, do the top 10 uplines. Those of you who are building a team, maybe haven't qualified yet for key leader or agency owner, but you can be included in the conversation. So top 5, Terry Myers. Her group had 10 applications, $11,493. Stella Dinwiddie, her downline had 26 applications, $18,667. Joanna Doyban was in the number 3 slot, 29 apps, $28,566. My base shop was in the number 2 slot, 45 applications, $43,755. And John Paul Vetter, his direct downline was 85 applications, $68,366. Phenomenal month, guys. Love the direction that this team is going. Let's give a quick shout out to our key leaders. We had Eric Sullivan, 23 applications, $23,633. Jenny Gray, 29 applications, $27,245. And Joanna Doyman leading key leaders with 30 applications, $30,156. Just, again, solid performance all around. And more importantly, the direction this team is going is just great to watch. It's a lot of fun to see the growth, the excitement, the energy, and what everybody is bringing to the table, taking care of your business, your success, your dreams, your goals, but helping families take care of taking care of themselves all along the way. So that's phenomenal. Guys, we got some exciting things to share with you today. We've got some great what's the word I'm looking for? Not a contest. Well, actually, we do have a contest coming up. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. We're going to roll out a very special contest, but we've got an event that we wanted to introduce coming up this fall. And obviously, unless you're brand new or maybe have been living under a symmetry rock and haven't been paying attention, we've got a huge event coming up in August, which is our national training conference, the 2-day event that literally can make or break your business. So be there, be square. But as part of that, guys, we're rolling out an event in October. And I talked with our agency owners, Stella and John Paul, about this. And we're really excited about this, guys. We shared a trip back last fall. We went to the Symmetry Lake House in South Carolina. And so myself, John Paul, Stella, we went with Scott Mank, our senior vice president, one of the top in the company of 120. And we went to the lake house, the Symmetry owned lake house, had an opportunity to hang out with other leaders from Scott Mank's hierarchy. The owners of the company came down. Todd Spivey came down. We had an amazing time. So with that, we got a lot of association, one-on-one time. And guys, I mean, the thing about conference is it's such an amazing event, and you take away so much from that. I mean, so many things that you can put into your business, put into action, put into your success. The challenge with that is, and the challenge for us, especially those of us with teams that are growing large, is we don't get to spend as much time as we like with everybody. I mean, we're literally going from one thing to the next, and it's great because you're packing in, again, a lot of information in a short period of time that's going to make high impact on your business. But it's just, there's just not a lot of time for associations. So one of the things that I wanted to do, and as I've been working with my quality coach that I work with in talking about growing our agency and leadership, he was sharing some of the success that other agencies were having with leadership retreats, and really got the wheels turning. Again, recent experience for us in South Carolina, and I wanted to recreate that. So we're actually going to have a leadership retreat this fall. And the exciting thing about this is, we're going to make, there's going to be a qualification, but we're going to make it where everybody can qualify. We're going to go through the, I'm getting ready to share a screen here, so I apologize if I'm kind of stuttering as there we go. All right. So we're going to make this an event that any and all can attend, and let's go through this, guys. We're excited, guys. This, again, opportunity for association, and this is going to be more than just we're going to have a ton of fun. That's the thing. When we do these events, we have a lot of fun, but we also get stuff done, and that's one of our core tenets of Symmetry. We have fun, but we get stuff done. So you can see myself, Scott is already committed to be there. Jacob, he's on the flyer. We're about 90% there with him. He's just working out some last minute details, but an opportunity to get together, sit down, have a lot of fun, have a good time, but also really dig into next level in this business. So what's it take to qualify? Well, again, what I'm saying is everybody can qualify. This event's going to be in October, arriving on, so the meetings will be on the 15th and the 16th, arriving on the 14th, departing on the 17th. Key leader or above, and you say, well, I'm not key leader yet. Okay, well, no problem. We thought of that. You can become key leader or hit your first month of key leader between now and the event in October. So this month, next month, anytime up until next up until the end of September. So as long as you hit at least 1 month. What is key leader? That is if you have 4 writing agents, which can include yourself, and you're doing 20,000 of issue paid. Now, the nice thing about that, guys, I mean, is your other 3 agents may submit 1 or 2 applications. They may not be putting a lot into that 20,000, but as long as you have 3 writers besides yourself, and you're doing at least 20,000, well, hey, we just went through leaderboards, and there's a lot of people that write 20,000 on their own. So really, yourself and 3 other writers at no particular level, if you're doing a collective of 20,000 issue paid, you've qualified for your first month of key leader. Now, we have some folks that are already on their run for key leader. So that's kind of what we set the parameter. Those who are already key leader, about to hit key leader, or even between now and then you hit at least 1 month. Guys, we want the gate to be wide open for anybody who wants to build a business and be in leadership to qualify for this. So this is going to be an exciting time. We're just going to be in Branson, Missouri. They're on Table Rock Lake. We're going to have a lake house down there. It's going to be massive. It is going to be, you can see in the picture there, pool table, shuffleboard, games of all kinds. There's a ton of events to do in the area. For those of you who don't know, I live about 35, 40 miles away from Branson. So obviously very familiar with the area, but there's a ton of stuff to do in this area. Again, we're going to be on the lake, so all kinds of stuff that we can do on the lake. But this is going to be a very rare opportunity to plug in with some folks who have who've been around the business for a long time, had a lot of success, are going to be able to pour into you. And that's really what I wanted this to be about more than anything. I mean, again, we're going to have a blast, guys. These events, especially in this setting, are going to be are just, it's hard to put into words. It's just so much fun, but you take away so much that you can plug into your business and really take it to the next level. And again, what we get from an event like conference in August is just drinking from a fire hose, a ton of training. This allows us now to kind of get one-on-one, start taking some of those concepts, start peeling that onion back and dig down deep into what actually makes that tick within an agency. So what I'd like to do right now is take a quick pause, because again, we had both John Paul and Stella at the event in October. I believe it was October of last year, actually, now that I think about it. So kind of share what were your takeaways from that event. And again, not only just the association, but also what it does for your business. And feel free to hop in, whoever gets their mute off first.
Sure, I'll jump in. So yeah, I mean, it's important to be able to have that time, one-on-one, for folks to be able to connect, for folks to engage and kind of talk about challenges and success stories in their business and such. And it was a great time. I mean, we were able to take a few other folks from my team specifically. I know Eric and Jenny came with us as well. I knew Stella and other folks were there. So it was just a great time for us to kind of hang out, get on the water, and and Brandon and Casey and Todd Spivey came down, and for all of us just to sit around and fellowship and just kind of talk about the business and get to know each other away from the meetings and other corporate events. And so those times away, those one-on-one times, are really where a lot of where relationships are solidified, and the little secret nuggets are shared with folks, and where you really kind of pick up the granular details that can change your business. And to that point, we just had an event with my team this week before last, or is it last week? We were at Marshall Whalen's Lake House. We had a contest for my team, and there were 5 winners and their guests: Joanna Doyman, Jenny Gray, Derek McPherson, Eric Sullivan, and Natalie Hermit, and their guests all came up, and we got a chance to spend a few days at Marshall Whalen's Lake House. Marshall was there. Ryan Miller stopped by, and Dan Miller. Just to get a chance to hang out there for a few days on the boat and jet skis and by the pool and eating. And then we had a chance to come back, to spend some time here. The last day, we went up to Helen, Georgia, to the little town up there, had lunch. We went zip lining. We came back here to my community where I live, and we had the restaurant that was shut down as a private event with the chef, the sous chef, and one waitress, for the team specifically. And we got a chance to come back to my house and hang out here that evening and just, have some drinks and play pool and, hang on the back deck and just reflect on the takeaways of the week. And it's just so important, and my point in saying that is that event was the same for my team as the event we did, collectively at the Cemetery Lake House. And this is going to be no different, but for your hierarchy, at large, for folks to be able to come in and hang out and talk cross line and make friendships and share stories and just bond and hang out and just, enjoy time away and enjoy the benefits of what this opportunity provides for us, in that time and that money time balance and that freedom, but really to leverage that in those relationships with people on the team and in the organization to help you further your journey. Yep.
Awesome. Stella, you want to go ahead and pop in and share your experience from the event in October?
Absolutely. Everything what John Paul said, I loved it. The association was powerful. He had an opportunity to just, relax and hang out and ask questions, get poured into. Oftentimes, when you come here, I just heard this the other day from through some of my self-development. And this guy was saying, if you want to achieve more, you want, more success, then you really want to surround yourself with others who are performing better than you. And what better way than, when you're hanging out with like what you're talking about, people who are already at 120, who are at the top, who've already figured it out, who have, multi-million-dollar agencies, if that's your goal. I know that that's, initially, that is my goal. That's John Paul's, goal. That's your goal. All of us to be able, to have that opportunity to learn more on how to grow our business and get to that point. We're all headed that direction. Some of us will get there a little quicker, some of us not as quick, but we're all rowing in the same direction. And being at those events, you're with people who are going to show you how to do it. You're with people who, you get a bond with. The association is so powerful. And you get to meet other people that, normally we just see on Zoom. Like I felt so blessed to be able to hang out with Jenny and Eric, and I got to meet Heather, and, and like you all say, getting to meet Todd and talking one-on-one at dinner with Casey and Brandon. I mean, they're all, and the thing I loved about it is they are all just as genuine as they are as you see them on a screen. Like when you're watching the national calls, I don't know about you, but they just crack me up. They're so down to earth, but yet, they're focused. I mean, they're very successful for a reason. And so you get to have these kind of people pour into you, and you get to ask, some questions. I got to ask Casey some questions that I was curious about, just sitting there one-on-one, I mean, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, the association is powerful at every single one of these events. There has not been one event that I have not brought something back with me, just like John Paul's talking about how they had their retreat. That's amazing. I love those kinds of stories because it's so true. I mean, just even on the Hawaii Carrier event, I got to sit next to Brian Delaney, and man, did he pour into me. We had a great conversation. I told you about it, Chris. Got to meet Ashley Tarr, got poured in by her. I mean, every one of these events where you are literally, I love that you have Gathering of the Eagles, because that's what we're all here, we're here to soar with each other as eagles. And that's what you get to do. And I love that more than anything. If you're the kind of person, I know Joanna Doyben is always ultra positive. I just love you, girl. I mean, so many of you are. But though, people who really get that being connected with that positivity, the mindset, that you can be around other people just like that. So I love that so much.
Awesome. Man, it's great to hear from these leaders. And the exciting thing about this, the reason we wanted to do this is an opportunity. And obviously we spent a lot of time together with John Paul and with Stella, with myself. I mean, you're all on our teams, and we spend a lot of time in this format, on Zooms, on the phone. Man, there's something about just spending time together in person and being able to really slow down, take time, have some in-depth conversations, talk about what's working, what's not working, what you wish was, what you wish you knew, what you don't know. I mean, just all those things that we can sit down and share and exchange ideas. Now, one key point about this, and I will share with you about kind of the logistics of this. So I've got the house, so you won't have to worry about lodging. We'll be taking care of the food, so you won't have to worry about any expenses while you're there. Really, the only thing you will have to be responsible for is just figuring out how to get here. So we wanted to make it as easy as possible, taking care of food, lodging, and you get here. Surprisingly enough, there's a lot of direct flights to our area. We are kind of in the central part of the U.S., and we've got 2 airports here, so we can certainly get with me and I can help you with the logistics. But direct flights from a lot of places. I know Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago, Charlotte, Phoenix, LA, Denver. I mean, we've got a lot of direct flights, and we'll figure out how to help you route to get here one way or the other. And guys, I'm excited about this because, like I said, this is something we haven't done on a hierarchy level for my group, and it's something I think is long overdue. Should have done it probably a long time ago. Obviously, the last couple of years have knocked a lot of us off what our normal game and trajectory was, but we're getting back to it. And so wanted to do that coming off a conference for two reasons. One is we're going to be coming out of that event in August with just, again, a ton of information. And I can tell you right now, having done, 6.5 years worth of conferences, there's about a 90-day period where you're just trying to digest everything that you learned in that 2-day event and try to, again, almost triage what's the most important thing that I could put into my business to get the most impact, and then start working down through the list. Nice thing about having this event a couple months out from that is that's going to be an opportunity to kind of check in. What did I learn? What did I pick up from that event? What can I now implement back or maybe expand on, or maybe I haven't addressed yet? In talking with the leaders, I can figure out how to implement that into my agency and my growth. And so that's one of the key things. The other reason we're doing this is, guys, be pushing hard to get your recruits to that event in Denver. Because again, what we're setting this up is for anybody who's either key leader, on their key leader run, or just hitting that first month. So it could be huge for you to be able to get as many people as you can to that event in Denver in August. And coming out of that, and we see it every time we do these events, coming out, we have people that come out on fire, and they go out and they're excited, and they've got brand new information that they can implement into their business. And you get a bunch of people, brand new green recruits, you get them to that event, guys, you may be nowhere near key leader. You may not even have your first recruit right now, but I guarantee you get people to that event, you will be hitting key leader numbers in September. And we'll be talking about having you come to that event with us in October. So I wanted to make the door as wide as possible for as many people to come. We'll rent a second house if we have to. We'll do whatever we got to do to make sure that we're getting people plugged in to be able to experience this opportunity to share in leadership. So appreciate John Paul and Stella sharing that their thoughts this morning. Can't wait to see all of you in October in Branson, Missouri. There's going to be a phenomenal trip and a great time association. We're going to have a ton of fun. I mean, I've got so many ideas on stuff that we're going to do. We're going to have a lot of fun, gang. Really are. Second part of the call, we're going to talk a little bit about a contest that I'm rolling out for the entire hierarchy. And this is something, and we had on our base shop and Dinwiddie call here a couple of weeks ago. I had a conversation about taking our leads and getting more value out of those leads. Because we have a phenomenal lead system, and those of you who've been here any length of time at all and bought leads and been able to convert those into sales. That's as I interview people and they ask, well, how do you get clients? I say, well, actually, we have people who raise their hand by filling out information, basically coming to us and saying, yeah, we're looking. Those are not guaranteed sales, but you spend any time in sales, anytime you have somebody that comes to you and says, yeah, I'm interested in your product. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it, but I'm at least interested. I want to hear about it. That's huge. That's huge in the sales cycle. That cuts so much out. And so, but here's the thing about our lead system, gang. As good as it is, we kind of miss the bigger purpose of what it's there for. What it's there for is a point of contact, but what it's there for is leverage. Every lead, every person that you talk to, especially if you write business on them, should equal 3 to 5 more leads without spending an extra dime. So that A lead that you bought, if you're at a 70% contract brand new agent and you spent $36.90 or whatever the current rate is. I think I'm pretty close on that. But if you spent that money on that lead and you sold it, phenomenal. That's great. That lead paid for itself. But that's not the point, or that's not the entire point. Yeah, we're going to help that client. But the point of those leads is now to take that and use that to leverage in that circle of influence. There's a very well-known training system, called the Sandler training system. And they did a survey years ago, and they found that 60% of clients would give a referral if they were just asked. They didn't say if they asked a certain way. They didn't say if you had the magic sprinkle dust that you put on your script and asked in a way that just made them fall in love with you and want to give you names. No. This survey just said, would you give referrals if you were asked? And 60% of people said, yeah, if I liked my salesperson, absolutely I would. Are you kidding me? 60% would say yes if they were only asked. How many of us? I don't need to ask this because I see the numbers. We don't ask. And look, pointing fingers back at myself. I was a lead junkie as much as anybody. It's so easy. It's so lazy, to be honest with you, just to grab a leads and go to town calling. But it's unfortunate because we miss out on the value of our lead system. We miss out on what it's there for. Yes, it gets us in front of somebody who has raised their hand, is interested in our products and services, but it's more than that. It should get us into their circle of influence, which then expands out further. Guys, really, a year or two into this business with us, you probably should only be dipping into the lead source as a way to backfill your calendar, to be quite honest with you. And so, one of the things, and here's why we don't do it. Again, because it's so easy. It's so easy just to go in and click buy more leads. And that's great. Again, I'm not knocking that. It is what it is. It's there. It's a great supplement to our business. It's a great crutch to lean on. But man, sometimes we lean on it too hard, to the extent that we're not as profitable as we should be, as we need to be. So one of the things that we're going to do, gang, is we want to make sure that what we've always done in this system is we've always incentivized the things that we want to improve on. And so I'm rolling out a contest for the entire hierarchy. So for everybody who writes a referral in the month of July, so I'm going to help you leverage your business. Maybe you're brand new here. You don't have a lot of money for leads. But if you can get a referral sale, so for every referral sale, we're going to give you a lead credit to buy 4 more leads. Now, this is based on the 70% contract. So, if you're at 100 or 110%, we're not giving you lead credit for 4 leads for where you're at. But point is, basically, it's going to equate to about $150 lead credit for every referral sale that you get, guys. Okay, and the stipulation there, that's household referrals. So if you write 5 apps in a household, great job. You need to be doing that anyway. But it's going to be based off that referral unit. Getting that referral unit. So we've got some great training material out there. In fact, I'm going to bring Stella on because she connected with somebody in Hawaii. And again, great testimony to using these events to be able to connect and leverage your learning in your business. Stella's going to talk a little bit of, and specifically, I wanted to not really get into the training of getting referrals, because there's a lot of great training material out there, guys, and we can share some of that with you, and you can work with your upline, and we can help you get better at that. But what I wanted Stella to share is what a gentleman that she met in Hawaii, and how he was able to do exactly what I'm talking about, taking our lead system and turning it into multiple sales. So Stella, could you unmute and kind of walk through what you were able to learn?
Yeah, absolutely. This guy was incredible, is incredible. And he just doesn't give up. His name is Jesse Backrack. And you probably see him on the leaderboards. He's on Brian Delaney's team. And he was sitting at our table. And to give you some stats about this guy, so we were talking about winning trips and so forth. And Brian said, yeah, this guy Jesse here, he wrote, no, let me tell you, he issue paid $112,000 in about 3 months. Issue paid $112,000 in about 3 months. And so we were talking, and so afterwards, I'm like, oh, I really want to talk to Jesse. So I go up to him, and this guy, we just got into this really long conversation, and he tells me that during that time period, he bought 40 leads. And out of those 40 leads, he got referrals. So that $112,000 of issue paid, not just writing, what actually got issued. And he's in New York. That's a tough place to write business. Those of you from New York understand this. He mostly wrote on SBLI. He is licensed in other states, but he wrote so much SBLI business. SBLI company reached out to him and said, dude, what are you doing? Because we want to train other people to write more of our product like you are. So he starts telling me all these different systems, or excuse me, not different systems. He starts telling me these different ways of just doing the simple system of asking. This guy doesn't give up. He asks everyone consistently. He's like, Stella, not everybody says yes. He goes, I get that. There's people going to say, yeah, I just don't share my circle of friends. He's like, I get it. I'm the same way. I'm just, I'm not going to, I'm just going to, call them and just, let them know, hey, maybe I might not even help them. And so what he did is, because he's so consistent every single time, every person that he helps, he asks the same question, maybe multiple different ways. Who is the most important person to you that would benefit from the meeting that we just had? Now that we took, now that we took these steps, who is the first person that you could think of that would benefit? And he stays quiet, and you can see him literally, he's writing down their information. And he just went in deep into everything else that he does. But the thing I love about him, it reminds me of something I read about Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth said, you just can't beat the person who never gives up. That's all this guy does, is he doesn't give up. And he asks that same question over and over and over. And he asks everybody. And Chris, if you can give me hosting rights, I just have a quick, tiny little 3 to 4 minute video that he sent to me that Brian helped him put together. And basically what he did is so brilliant. He said every time he got on Zoom, he got his phone and he would record himself asking that question. So he asks it in multiple different ways, but pretty much the same way. And you could see him, he's sitting there like literally like, okay, and what's his name? Okay, oh, okay, so he probably just needs like a disability, because the guy's telling him, well, that's my brother, he's single, so I don't know. And you could just hear it. And he's just like, so they take little clips, boom, 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 boom. It's really amazing. So I'll share that with you to give you a taste of what he's talking about. Awesome. I got those rights. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me know if you can hear the volume. Hopefully you can.
I'm really glad that we got you not only applied, approved, policy in your email right now covered. Now, who is the most important person to you that would benefit from a meeting like we just had?
Steven Fernandez.
Steven.
Yeah.
He's married?
No, not married, no kids.
Oh, okay. So maybe just a disability thing is what he's looking for.
He does, actually, he would need a disability thing, honestly, because his job is killing him.
I'm going to show him how to protect himself and get all of his money back like a savings account like you just got. Give me his number. I'm not going to reach out right away. I'm not a telemarketer. I don't want to be treated like one. You're going to call him or text him and say, hey, we had a meeting with this cool guy, Jesse. If you want to talk about insurance, he will call you. If you don't worry. Just tell him no thank you. My only question is, who do you know that absolutely needs to have this conversation, but is stubborn and want to protect each other? Who do you think could benefit from a meeting? Who would you like me to call? Who's the most important person to you? Now that you took those steps, who is the first person that you could think of that would benefit from an insurance meeting like we just had? ¿Quién quiere referar a mí? So yo puedo llamar a la otra familia y, oh, Hendrix y Petalo, recomiendo llamarse y ofrecemos, que tú deseas. So who do you care about most? Do you think would benefit from a meeting? It could be your parents. It could be your coworkers, your colleagues that didn't get a mortgage protection card to their house. Who do you think would benefit from a meeting like we just had? Well, who comes to mind first that has kids or is living together?
My mom is in the process of trying to.
I think my cousin was definitely.
I said my brother.
What's his name?
I don't know if he got life insurance.
No, even if he does, he'll be happy you referred him.
Brother, he's actually in the market for looking for a new place himself. So he's probably going to be the one that I would recommend. His name's Menefee.
Close friend because my family is very organized and in this kind of matter, so I guess.
Beautiful.
But I never had this kind of conversation with nobody else. My family is so very organized.
What's your friend's name?
Number. So when you see him calling you, answer. It's important, Alice. I know we talked about this before. It's important. You know I know because it's Jami, so it's important. All right. Okay.
Who's the most important person to you?
Yeah, my friend PJ.
PJ single or married? What was that? I can't hear that enough. I can never get it. I never get it. I'm only kidding. But he's back from the peanut gallery. So who's? I'll take it.
Sean, for allowing me to protect your family. I'll let you know I'm always going to be here for you. And if you need anything, you got my number. I'm the guy for you.
Okay, thank you, Justin.
God bless, man. Have a great night.
So
Love it. So good.
isn't
So
that
good.
amazing, John Paul? And this guy he reminds me of you because he's just like, he's amazing. And so he's going to come on one of our calls and talk because there's a lot more that he does. And if you listen to his verbiage, you'll see there's a lot of assumption. I'm going to tell you, you're going to do this. And if you're not comfortable with that, you know what? There is other ways that you can do it. Just like the script, use your own voice to be able to do that. Someone wise once told me, when you ask them at the very end, hey, were you happy with my services today? Were you satisfied with my helping you? And they say yes. They're always going to tell you yes, because otherwise they wouldn't let you help them. So then that's your perfect opportunity to say, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. The best compliment I can ever receive is a referral. So those are just some examples. There's so much more that he poured into me that I might chop up because I didn't write it all down. It's kind of all up in here. And I don't want to take a lot of time trying to regroup all of those thoughts. But this guy is amazing. There's so much more. But the main thing that I took away from him is assumption. And He just is consistent. He never gives up. He just keeps asking. And that guy, again, issue paid $112,000 in 3 months on 40 leads.
40
because
leads.
The rest were referrals.
Guys, I did quick math on that. Roughly, that's $2,666 PPL. Profit per lead, $2,666 PPL. Doesn't matter what kind of leads. That I just saw that question, and I'm not being dismissive. Don't take that wrong. My point is, if you're buying a B1 lead, if you're buying a B5 lead, if you're buying an A lead, if you're buying a call-in lead, if you're getting referrals off of those leads, now, quite frankly, your return on investment, if you do that on a B1 lead, is going to be infinitely better if you do it on an A lead. The point is, when you're having a conversation, even if you have somebody that says, you know what, no, thank you, I don't think I'm going to buy from you. Hey, that's all right. I understand. But you probably know somebody who's in the market or might at least consider a conversation. Guys, again, 60% of clients would say yes or give you a referral if you only ask them. So that's what this is about. And Sydney asked a great question here a minute ago. Can that be friends and family? Sure. I don't care. I mean, a referral's a referral. You know, I mean, this is a honor system. If we start smelling a rat and all of a sudden your entire business flips to referrals, we may check in just to make sure and that you're playing the system fair. But that's, hey, if you all of a sudden write by the end of July, everything you're writing is from a referral, I'll give you lead credit on every one of them. You know, well, you may be having so much lead credit by the end of July that, but that's the point. The reason why I set this up the way I did, guys, and I hope you just get the thought process here. So if you write a referral, we're going to give you 4 more leads. What are you going to do with those 4 leads? Go out and get 4 more sales, or even just get 1 sale, 25%? No. If that's all you think, we're not connecting the wires here. You're going to take those 4 leads. Even if you only go out and write 1 policy, you're going to take that 1 policy and turn that into 5. And we're going to do that over and over again. We're going to do that over and over again until we turn this into a machine that is self-running, where your lead system is you. And the Symmetry lead system is your fallback. You know, you have an entire week of leads and maybe 10 appointments set up all from referrals. He's like, you know what? I need to add 5 more appointments. I've got some referrals, but I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to go get some leads. I'm going to add that. That's where we need to be, gang. We need to be, I've got an entire slate of appointments. I want to throw in 2 or 3 more and I'm short on time. Let me go grab some leads. Boom, here we are. And that takes time. So don't get me wrong. This is going to take a shift. It's going to take some time, but I'm putting the seeds in here for right now for you to start getting in that operation mode. Once we flip the switch for ourselves personally, that becomes the way we operate. And I'm willing to invest in each and every one of you to make that a daily habit.
Chris, can I add something to that real quick?
Yep.
Related to
Please do.
So that's why referrals, another way that you can get referrals is, I like to say, do what Sydney does. Sydney Lee on our team. I call her a referral queen because last year in 2021, this girl's PPL was averaged $1,154, $1,154 PPL. And she showed up with a 153% closing ratio because what she likes to do, what she learned along the way is calling the people that you already helped last year, calling a few people a week and just saying, hey, how are you doing? How many times did you meet with somebody? You're brand new. I know this happened to me where I only helped the husband because I was newer and I was afraid I was just glad to help to get that one application. I was afraid to okay, well, let's do this one. I felt like maybe I might be pushing it because you're new at doing this. Well, that gives you that opportunity to go back and help them. That happened to me accidentally last year, and somebody got rolled up in my automated calling system with Set Show Sell, and they called them and they reached out to me, and I said, oh, hi, I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, I already helped this person. I said, yeah, we were just reaching back out to you to see how you were. And she's like, yeah, the wife was like, yeah, I thought that we talked about, because I figured maybe you're reaching out because we talked about maybe getting a plan for me. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly right. And we did. I ended up, writing a small policy for her whole life. They were an older couple in their 60s. So that was just a great example of going back and writing business on those little people. And we should all do a better job of following up with those people that we helped. I know that I want to be a lot better at it, because I want to be better at that. Yeah,
Excellent.
that's why I'm calling.
Yeah, Chris, I want to add something to that as well, if you don't mind. I know we got a few minutes here, but I think that's so spot on. I mean, I think that collectively, all of us, there's so much of a missed opportunity in every interaction we have with our clients, and asking for referrals. Your bond and your relationship with these people is the absolute strongest when they tell you yes, and you're protecting that family. And if they trust you and respect you enough for what you're doing for their family, I don't know why we think that they would have any kind of an aversion to sharing other folks' names and numbers, so you could be as professional and as engaged and as helpful to someone else as you were to them, right? So I think there's a huge miss there, in asking for referrals. I think obviously continuous customer contact and follow up, to Stella's point, is huge. And then just finding things that we can do, I think, on our own to self-generate opportunities. I think that, especially because of COVID the last couple of years, even folks that were really doing some of these extracurricular things have kind of let off the gas because you couldn't with COVID. But man, there's so many different events and networking groups and other things you can do in your community, at your church, other events where you can set up a booth on a Saturday morning for 3 hours and just go out and hand out cards and talk to people. That's free, or maybe cost you $50 to donate to the youth club or whatever, to set up a table at their event, and just go out and mix and mingle with people. You can look online and find these events in your area. Some places have like a calendar, at least they used to. There'd be like a calendar of events where you could find of different functions, and you as a professional in the community can go set up a booth there. Think outside the box and other ways that you can be able to do things to generate opportunities for your business. It is your business. And to your point, I think too many people get caught up on the leads, and the leads are amazing, but there's so many other things you could be doing on your own above and beyond that to increase your profitability and the impact you make in the lives of others. So definitely want folks to start thinking about that. I would encourage everybody to get with your respective mentor or your AO, and each of you come up with a plan and an idea of something you can do locally in your community or in your city where you can do an event. Or maybe partner with other people and do an event where you can set up a table and such. As I mentioned to folks on my team, for Mother's Day, my daughter was able to coordinate a local community vendor event at the County Parks and Recreation Department at the gym. It was on a Saturday morning, that Saturday before Mother's Day, from 10 to 1, and it was free. I set up a table. I ordered a blue tablecloth from Amazon for $25 and took some cards and some information on my iPad and played some videos there, and got a chance to talk to people and just engage with folks, hand out cards. And I got 2 solid leads out of it that day while I was there, and it was free. So, and it supported my daughter, right? So the whole point is find those kinds of things you can do because they are out there. And think outside the box. There are things you could probably come up with that some of us haven't even thought of yet and share with your team. You can certainly go knock on doors in neighborhoods if that's what you want to do. In new subdivisions where homes are being built, those people are going to their mailbox and grabbing a handful of letters from these companies that are mailing things to them. Beat them to the punch. More importantly, why don't you get connected with some realtors so you can develop relationships with them so they can refer you their customers at closing before they ever get the letters, right? So find ways you can partner with other like-minded professionals and cross-pollinate customer bases. So I just want to plant those seeds with folks to kind of think a little bit about what they could be doing. So
I love your story, John Paul, of when you helped somebody because you went to the hospital and you were just talking to them. And talk about, in closing, if you guys want to talk about what does that do to your PPL for making promotions, your budget, right, in your business.
Awesome. Great shares. Great way to wrap up, guys. That contest, referral contest, July 1 today through July 31st. We'll get some promotional material out. We'll keep it in front of you. But and when you get those sales, make sure you give me a heads up or give your agency owner a heads up so they can refer or relay that to me. We want to make sure that we get all this stuff recognized, and we get your lead credit so you can turn that into more referrals, more sales. So, gang, it's great to have everybody together for this Friday call. Excited to see you all. Hope to see a lot of you, if not most of you, in I'd certainly see you in conference. But let's go ahead and plan on seeing you in October as well. Go ahead and start making plans, making activity that way, and let's get your business going and get some referrals coming in the door, gang. All right. Thank you all for being on. Excited to see what this group is going to do for the month of July. Let's finish strong before conference. Come in with that cash flow glow. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great Friday, great weekend. Enjoy your 4th.